Smart shopping guys already. Because to stop shopping guys to be eaten around Singapore.
Hello, today my groupmates Hafi, Yongxiang, Joel and I will be talking about curbing cart chaos and our product Carti. Here's an overview. Firstly, we will talk about the research problems and driving question, followed by the product introduction, description of solution, design implementation, block diagram and flowchart. Firstly, our research and some background information. What is our product? We will be talking about how to prevent people from not returning their shopping carts. On the research, firstly, Singaporeans leaving their shopping carts unreturned after shopping. Lost trolleys are a costly problem for supermarkets. A FairPrice spokesman said, on average, the cost of repairing, replacing, and retrieving unreturned trolleys is about 150,000 a year. Now, secondly, how to prevent this issue from occurring again in the future? Why don't we upgrade our shopping carts? In doing so, our competitors would include local supermarkets such as FairPrice, Cold Storage, Giant, Sheng Prime, and etc. Moving on, this leads us to a driving question. How can we make a device that allows for better usage of a shopping cart? Now, I will pass the time over to Joel.
Thank you, Gabriel. For now, I will talk about our project introduction. For the past few years, we have noticed in the rise of abandoned shopping carts from various supermarket outlets such as FairPrice, Cold Storage, Giant Supermarket, Sheng Prime, and etc. Even though the supermarket outlets has increased their shopping carts return point, users are still not responsible to return the shopping cart to their respective places. This issue causes problem to the users who need the shopping carts and to the outlet, which need to hire more manpower to retrieve or replace the cart. Hence, we have come up with an innovative solution where the cart is able to be locked and unlocked with the use of our credit card or transport card that has an RFID chip inside it. This will help improve unreturned shopping cart as we will be able to track the last user who uses the shopping cart. This detail will be given to the respective owner of the cart. For example, FairPrice will own the shopping carts. FairPrice will then be able to decide if they want to impose a fine or restrict the customer from using the shopping cart. Now I will explain to you for our block diagram. For our block diagram, you can see we have two inputs. Firstly, an RFID sensor and two buttons. For our outputs, we have LED lights, turning motor, and speaker. Now I will pass my time to Yongxiang.
Thank you, Joel. To continue, here's our A2 foam board for the project. Our project aims to reduce the number of carts being littered and abandoned around Singapore. The components used include a M5Stack, RFID sensor, and a servo motor. On the right side, we can see how the system works given the input, process, and outcome. Moving on to the back page of the A2 foam board, details how our app works. Firstly, the homepage will ask the user for their membership status confirmation. If the user is not a member, they will be brought to a registration page where they also have the choice to sign up using their SingPass. Next is the personal account page, where it will track the card usage, duration, points available for redemption, name of the user, and the last date when the card was used, including a button to redeem the points accrued. Lastly is the access page. It allows the user to open the card from the app itself, as well as display the card and the card IDs. Information on the points accumulation and conversion can be seen here. Here's a look at our prototype. Now I will pass over the time to Hafi.
Well, thank you, Yongxiang. This is our project details. It has 4 key features that we implemented, which are the lock system, registering online, card app, and track card. First is the lock system. It requires the user to scan with a card or scan through the app. Using the RFID scanner, the card will unlock and the timer will start running, tracking the time used of the card. Next is registering online. This feature is to help the user that uses our shopping cart collect points, enabling them to redeem vouchers or discounts in the store. Thirdly is the card app, which users can use to connect to the card itself and or check their points and any latest news that the store has, like promotion items, discounts, and more. Lastly is tracking the card. This is the main feature of this idea, as tracking the last user time and date can allow us to track his personal information to issue him a warning or maybe a fine. Now we will talk about a flowchart. We'll be setting all the variables to 0, like the server motor to 0, degrees, setting a card UID, a log to 0, seconds, minutes, and hours to 0. First loop is the time. Once seconds reach 60 seconds, it will increase the minutes to 1, and it will do the same as for minutes hit 60, it will turn the hours to 1. Waiting for 1 second, it will change the seconds to 1 every second. Now we're talking the RFID. Once the user uses their card to scan, it will set a log to 0. Then it will scan if the log equals to 0, which is our variable. Once it scans that, it will set log to 1. Read the card RFID. It will show processing. Our RGB bar color will be yellow. If our card UID and the UID set in the system is the same, it will unlock, setting the RGB color to green, beeping for 200 milliseconds. Then it will turn the motor to 90 degrees. If the card is the wrong card, it will set the RGB color to red, and it will beep for 200 milliseconds for a tiny sound. To end the shopping cart, you will be pressing button A, which shows display of to lock scan card. After waiting 5 seconds, when scanning your card, it will scan for a log equals to 1, which after the first loop, it will turn the variable log to 1. Then it will set the log to 0 after the variable, setting read card to RFID card UID. It will show processing, and RGB bar color will be yellow. If the UID and card UID is the same, it will show thanks for shopping, the beep again, and the RGB color will be green. So the motor will turn back to 0, restarting the whole loop. Locking the time of the last user, we can just set the variable to seconds and minutes and the hours. If it does not scan the same card, it will look back at the button A press, asking you to scan the same card, showing the bar color yellow. Thank you.